Hello, welcome to another episode of Codercise. My name is Nick Hayden. I will be your pilot for this morning. So my channel is called Codercise. We are currently building a website using the headless CMS called Strapi, which is here. It is a free Node.js based headless CMS. Here is what we've built so far. We're using React for this front end. I mentioned previously that we could look at using something like Gatsby or Next.js. For now, we're just going to be using Create React App, getting started with it, and really exploring what Strapi has to offer rather than what React can offer us. So far, what we have is we have a couple of pages that we've built into Strapi. We have a React application with some little navigation there, some content. You can see in here we've got our components. We're using styled components for our styling, our CSS. We have within Strapi on the CMS side of things, we have page titles, some CTA links, page content, related pages. And where we left it last time was we had this navigation. We were able to click between our elements, and you can see up here we've got the URL bar that's changing. And what our problem was is that we were unable to change this content. So we know that the props are changing, and we can see that over in our app.js. We've got a path here, and we can see that that's changing. Which is where our within page content we've got this sort of path here that we're rendering. We can see that's changing, but this dang old data's not changing. And the reason for that is on first load, what we get is a request to a CMS. You can see here pages with the handle is home, and if we look in Strapi, we've got a handle which is home, so we're getting that content. We change to about, there's not another request. Another request isn't happening. But if I refresh the page, the about content loads. You can see down here, it's loaded as well. So what is going on? Our main issue here is that we need to be using these hooks a bit better to trigger this get page function. And the way we do that, if we hop on over to the React router documentation. Oops, sorry, that's not it. But this will show us still the same thing because there's a second parameter here. Just this little array block. So I'm going to go React router. Here it is. We're going to go to web. And we're going to scoot on down to hooks. So we're using React hooks for this Strapi application. And we've got this use location hook. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using instead of just passing in the prop. So we're going to use this example here. They use location, and then they add a little a watcher in here. This second parameter, which is an array of variables to look at, and when that changes, then fire off that hook. So we're going to copy exactly what they've done. We're going to go let, or maybe it should be const, shouldn't it? And path can be const as well because that's not changing. So we're going to go const location equals use location. Okay. Oops, I might keep these guys together. Keep location down there. I'm going to put location in here. Save it. And then up here we need to be importing use location from React router. Use location from, I think it's React router DOM. Great. So now when we're over here, when we click on home, our content's changing. The site is taking shape. How exciting is that? So now we're able to go between this content here, which is really, really cool. So this content, you can see different requests are being made down here. If I clear this, you can see each time we go between a page, a request is made over to Strapi to pull this content out, which is really good. Okay. You can see on these bottom ones here, I've got, I'm doing a full page refresh there, and that's because we're using an anchor tag instead of a link, which we would use because now we've switched to React Router. So I'm just going to pull this in as well. There we go, we've got the navigation, we've got links down here as well, which is really good, really exciting. So, great, fantastic. We've got our content now, we're swapping between pages, and it's time to see if we can start adding in some of this navigation up here, because what we've got so far is just hard-coded links. That's not really useful right now. So what we need is to create a navigation object within Strapi, a collection of navigation items, and then we need to render that out onto the page. So this will be a little bit of learning for me. So I'm going to go to Content Types Builders. We will make maybe a new collection type, which could be primary navigation. Okay, we're going to continue. We're going to have a field which will be, actually let's just finish. Let's just cancel and have a look at this for now. Okay, so we've created our primary navigation. All right, so everything in here is going to be a kind of link. I think what I remember from last time was I would need to restart the site. Or maybe it needs a field in there. So let's, so it's going to be called primary navigation. Continue. We'll just add one field in here for now and see if that resolves our issue. So save that. It's currently restarting. Great. So now we have this primary navigations. Might need to rename this because that uses a plural, so primary navigation link. Finish. Let's have a look here. So now I've got primary navigation links. So add a new primary link. We'll edit some field. We'll add another field. This field is going to be a perhaps a relation. This will be called, yeah, so it will have one page. Okay, so it's going to be page link. Finish. Can't have that. There we go, and we're going to save that. Cool. Popping back up here, I'm going to add a new primary navigation link. We're going to configure the view to drop this guy. Yep. Not able to do that. That's okay, so that'll be fine for now then. I'm going to rename this to be a link title. Save it. Yep. Go back. Link title and then the link it's going to. So we're going to say home. Going to home. Add another one. About. Going to have contact was the other one we had. Great. We've got, once again, links going off to our pages. That's good. Cool. We will need to add roles for this, I think, or permissions. If I go public, yeah, here we go. Find and find one. Yep, save it. So now we can make another request, which we will just do. I guess this should be. I mean, we may as well just use this whole thing again, right? It's pretty much the same. I mean, it's not like we really need a state though, do we? Alright, let's have a think about this. No, let's keep it in there. I mean, why not? We don't need the location side of things because we're not doing that anymore. For the navigation, we're not going to click between different links and change sort of the details there. Your navigation will remain the same every time. So we're going to say this will be called navigation links. This will be set navigation links. We need to import a few other things from React. So we're going to have use state, use effect. Cool. Get navigation. This is all good. I need to change that path in a minute. Then we have, this is going to be use effect, popping open this, which will be, I think it just returns an object. So it will be get navigation. And we're not watching anything this time, so we'll just leave that for now. Cool. This is good. So we should get 2 requests to the home page. Set page, oops. Set navigation links. Great, so we've got 2 requests here, one of them is undefined. If we look down here, so we can open up Postman again. Just give me 1 second. So we're opening up Postman, and the reason we're going to do this, you guys should be seeing the loading screen right now. I'm just making sure there's no other requests in my history. Great. So what we're going to be doing is localhost, I think it's 1337 slash, it'll be primary navigation links. Yeah. What's that request going to be? Public. I think I've mentioned this before. I've kept this public. I just don't want to be doing authentication right now. If this was a real-world application, we would be putting this behind the authenticated route and locking it down to only the one site making requests. So we had this stuff. Yep. Pages. So primary navigation links. That did not work here. Got a 404, which is not terrible. Just need to figure out what this request will look like. Primary navigation link. Relation with page. I wish there was like a little request builder, but there's not. Links, pages. So if I just do slash pages, that does get me everything. If I do primary navigation links. Nope. Singular? Nope. If I get rid of that, also no. What is it called? I am just thinking about restarting the server. The reason I want to do that is I remember in a couple of different times with Strapi we've needed to do like a full reboot of it to get some changes coming across. So I'll just see if that will fix it. So refreshing, yep, still there. Still nothing. Is that the right port? It is the right port. So slash pages works. What we don't have is primary navigation links working. That's very strange. So let's investigate further. This is called primary navigation link, which could, I did try a singular before and that didn't work. So there's nothing in there with an ID or anything. I wonder if I view these requests, if I can see it from the API. So they've got requests in here. So it's primary navigation. But that doesn't work. I'm spelling navigation, right? I'm just going to copy it from them. Yep. Still 404. Preview response. So we have no values in here, which is fine. Configure the view, that's not going to help. Roles and permissions. Find one, find all. Save. Go authenticated as well. See, there's nothing in there. So that's not got too much going on. Yeah, I mean, primary navigations. Okay. There we go. So when I clicked on this, I got the, oops. I got the information. There we go. So it's slash primary navigations. I wonder if I should rename that. I think it's okay. I don't even know if I can. Edit. Primary navigation links. So it's rebooting now, and then it should give us a name that makes a little bit more sense. Has it restarted yet? It's trying. Roles and permissions. Public. Find. If I refresh the page. No, okay. It's left it as that for now. It might change it later. I mean, it seemed to update it, didn't it? Updated the table. I'm just going to restart it. Let's see if that helps. Okay, roles and permissions. If this one doesn't work, we'll just hop back Okay, so it's left it as primary navigations, which is fine. It's not the most intuitive name, but we'll get there. Oh, no, I've lost all my content. Okay. Okay, I changed the name and it deleted everything. That's really important to know. So I guess if you're messing around with like the collection names here, you may end up just deleting everything, which is not great. So to recreate these again, let's just do this quickly. We've got home, about, whoops, hide that. Huh. If you show the filters, it hides that link. And then contact was the last one we had. Save it, and here we go. We've got our links again. If we do primary navigations, then we have our links. So the reason you might want to use something like a GraphQL here would be, right now we're getting all like the page content, CTA links. We don't really need that. We don't really need that information. So what we'll do is, coming back over here, we're going to swap this out in our navigation to be primary navigations. We're fetching that data, and when it gets the response, we're getting navigation links. Great. And then we get the information here. In our list, we're going to go, what are we doing? We're going to map over navigation links. Oops, that needs to be uppercase. Oh, I think I did that wrong, but that's alright. We should get item 1 a couple of times. Oops, okay. Navigation links. And what did I do for page content here? I just did that ternary. What is the network response? We'll just get rid of that for now. Primary navigations is an array. Okay. And if we just like log this value out, what is it? Navigation links. Let's have a look. Yep. So we just have an array. Yep. Object, and then it becomes an array. Oops, because the default value I set was an object. But instead, the default value should be an array. Great. So now we can pop back into our navigation list. We're going to do navigation links. I'm going to actually lowercase that just so it's kind of consistent everywhere. Yep. Dot map. And then we want the list items. Yep. Cool. So here you go. We've got that key error. You can see we've got all of our list items here. Next, we have our value. I always forget this. So let's just see if the value is a... Yep, good. I'm going to say value and index. I'm not really using the index here, but that's alright. Value dot title. Link. link.title, home about contact. Great, we're going to change this to be video backtick. I'm going to say what have I done? Link dot, I think it's a related page. Link dot page link and then handle. So link page link handle. This needs to be slash, just a slash in front of it. What's broken here? Doesn't like my backticks maybe. That's still broken. No, it's not. Okay. Backtick, backtick. JSX recorded. Okay, not sure what that is complaining about. Great. All of these are undefined. Link, page link handle. We're in link, we've got page, link, and handle. It's a little bit strange. What I might do is grab this and see if I can render page link somehow. This should throw an error about an object. That's a silly way to debug. That's not going to be helpful, so let's use the DevTools. We have a link here. Link. Link. State, we've got page link. Page link, capital H for handle. There we go. Cool, so it's home, about, contact. We can get rid of these item 2 and item 3. And this is starting to look a little bit neater now. So now we've got, we load the page. We make 2 requests. We make a navigations request and we make a content request. When we go through, our navigation remains the same, but our content changes. So it's really cool now. Hop back over to Strapi. We might add another collection type here, which could be like, maybe we'll call it like site elements. Okay. We're going to have a title, which will just be like site name. Oops, that needs to be there. Oh, I should say I actually made a pull request based on some of the error messages, the localization into English, and they were accepted, which is good. I'm going to have like a contact email, site name, contact email. We're going to have like an image here, which could be our logo, media, site logo. It's going to be a single media. Finish. Great. What else should we have? That's probably enough for now. Okay, so we'll save. Rebooting the server. which is good. Come back over to our site elements. We're going to add a new site element, which will be, so site name is going to be Codercise. Contact email will be contact@codercise.com. And we'll add in an image. I wonder if I can drag and drop an image in here. That could be nifty. Let me just find an image quickly. Okay. Over here. Yeah. I'll grab this one. Yeah, cool, look at that. That uploaded it straight away. Upload into the asset library. Finish. I'm going to save all of these. Great, that's really cool. So now, how should we do this, do you think? We've currently got the logo inside our navigation wrapper, which I think makes sense. I think that's something that makes sense to me. But maybe we need to have a request out here and like put all the details into page container. I don't know if this is going to be the best way of doing it. I might change my mind a little bit later, but for now let's give it a go. So we'll do the same. We'll use effect. We will use state. I know I've put these in a different order than I have in other functions, but that's okay. Syntax again, it's an array. So we have site elements, set site elements equals use state. It can just be object for now. So use effect. Yeah. Set site elements. No watches again. Cool. We need that async function, so it's async function get site elements. Yeah. Just grab this bit. Yeah. So just for everyone with me, so we do const response equals await, and it's fetching. This time it's got a path, but we'll swap that out just so it's like the straight URL, which we can grab here. This is going to be site elements. We do a const site elements equals await response JSON, and all that's doing is just waiting for this function to return. We do a little check here, so if the site elements has a length, then set the value to be the first one. Okay. Cool. Oops, and that needs to be there. Great, this is failing. The reason it's failing is we need to go back to our roles and permissions, public, find one, refresh, and here's our information. Fantastic. So we have a site logo. We have a path, do we? Yep. So we've got an uploads path. The site name, contact email. So we can create like a footer element. We'll probably do that later. Let's focus on the logo for now. So we have our site elements. And if we look at our components, you should see it up pretty high. Right at the top of the app. So site elements, we're going to be passing this into our page container. So we'll say site elements. Site elements. I wonder if that will work. Page container down here, yep. Site elements have got all that information. And I think we should be able to put it straight into here, I think, but I'm not quite sure how to do that right now. And I don't really want to pass it straight into the navigation. Can I guess? So site elements, we've got site logo, we want the path, the URL. So site elements, site logo, URL, so site elements, site logo dot URL, logo path. We'll come down, get rid of that. For navigation, we're going to change this guy, so he will now be oops, logo path. Oops, can I get undefined? Yep, of course. Reason for that is when we load the page, the path is undefined. Cool. So that's a little ternary. Looks like we have a undefined value. Let's have a look at navigation. We have logo path, which is empty. Page container. Site element, site logo. URL. That's interesting. I would have thought this would be available, but it doesn't look like it. I'm just gonna console log the site elements, site logo. Let's see if there's a value in there that's worth it. Yeah, it does. And it's got a URL. I'm just going to clear up that error by going into the navigation, into my navigation links, and adding a key equals link dot title. So we'll suppress that error. Is there another one somewhere? There's a unique key prop, navigation JS 28. That's undefined because it needs a capital T. There we go. Undefined, undefined. And we have Codercise. Logo export. Props.logo path. What is happening? So logo path with navigation is empty. Site element, site logo. We have site elements, that's there. I'm pretty sure we can't access the state of a higher component. So access, what would this be? Access state from higher component React. Let's have a look here. I don't think we can reach up. So pass it down, right? And passing it into here, logo path. The value is set. Site elements, that's all we've been using for everything else, right? Well, maybe we need to be setting, I don't think this will work. No, what I did was break everything. The reason that broke everything was I was checking the value to see if it was updated. And then once it's updated, it would update again. So we have the logo export here, but not here. I wonder if I just did like if I just did this. Is this going to work? Cannot read properties undefined, yep. That's fine. Nothing here either, okay. We have an unknown. Interesting. Site elements. Man, I can see it. I can see it in my components. In my page container. I've passed it into there. My app has it as a state here. Oh, yeah, it does. So it's state, site logo. But it's not just, it wouldn't just be site logo, would it? I imagine it has to be within, yeah, site logo is not defined. And if I'm doing that, I can see it there. What is this? What is going on? So we have site elements. So it works here. Logo. Maybe the length of undefined. Yeah. Logo is undefined, and then it's here. Weird. I mean, I guess I could do what I was doing for the page content using location. No, that's not right, because over here that was getting, oops, here we're looking at location because we were using that location there. Site elements. So I turn that into an array, does that help? I don't think so, I don't think that helps. This page content was working. I guess I can change this now to be 0. Yeah, okay, so it's good to know that we're sort of not making big errors. But it is funny that we are having this problem. So let's problem solve together. Okay. Refresh. This is all broken. Silence 0. Cool. So what do we see? Side elements. It's an array. We get 0. Does site name work? If I just do like a h1, site elements dot site name. Let's see if this works. That works. If we do the one underneath it, which was contact email, does this work? This works. So we've got information here, and if I pass this in, I bet this works too. Maybe like site name equals site elements dot site name. I bet I can access it in here. Props dot site name. Maybe not. Navigation. Props. Lowercase s. Boom. Okay. We're able to pass around the text. What we can't pass around right now is the image, which is a bit strange. Site logo. If I pass all the site elements in, so I might throw a error about trying to render an object. So I do keys. What is it? It's object dot keys. I think it's capital O and lowercase k. Cannot convert and the final null. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that image for now. If we just do site logo here, and what do we have in this object? We have like an ID. Let's just try the ID. Yeah, so the others work. This one does not. Yeah, right, okay. Oh. Okay. Might have it here. here, I need to be passing in navigation, logo path equals that doesn't help, but let's try an image again. So what was pretty weird is when I've added in like a default value for site logo, it stopped complaining as much. So site elements, site logo, the URL. See what happens here. There we go, we've got a broken image, but it is pointing towards the correct path, so we have the correct value now. And if we just append this with like the Strapi route, this should work. Oops. There we go. So I've got our logo appearing. Logo path is still not working. We can do this, we can put it into here. Just get rid of these values. Okay, and then we're popping into here, we've got props, logo path. Oops. Logo source, this needs to have the Strapi path appended to it. Get rid of that. Look at that. So what I needed to do there was add, I guess, a default value for site logo. I guess the way hooks works is that it's looking for, it's looking within your object to see what sort of values are. Because site logo is an embedded object, like there's another level down. That meant that it wasn't going to work. So we've been able to set the site logo value, and now when hooks loads, or when the hook loads, it's waiting for that value. It's okay with having sort of the null path in there for the beginning, and then as we get the data back through here, we can pass it down here and it will work. Now I'm just going to head over to our navigation styles, where we what we might do actually is, instead of doing like the logo like that, we might have logo container. Logo can instead be a perhaps a div as well. Background image. We're going to have a props here, I think. I have to look up this syntax again for style component props. What is this syntax? Pop down here, yeah, cool. So we can just grab that for now. So props, logo path. We have URL. Yeah. This should be backticks because we're going to be using a value in it, which will be HTTP localhost plus props logo path. Otherwise, it will just be empty string. Let's have a look what this does. We've got logo path. Oops, this has broken a lot of different things. Why is that? Where's match? Tone. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's missing that. There we go. Great. So now we have a background image, which we should be able to just spy on if we come into here. Yep, so we've got that. Get rid of that bit. Cool. Now we need to give our logo a size again. Because we're using a background image, which will make it a little bit sort of match the height a bit nicer. So we'll say 50 pixels high and maybe 150 wide. What does this look like? And then this image is way too big. Background size could just be cover. Maybe instead of being 50 by 50, it can be 80 by 80. How does this look? Yeah, that's pretty big, but I mean, it works for now, doesn't it? Alright, so this was a fun little look at hooks. We're coming up on the hour mark, so we'll wrap it up for today. So it was a fun look at hooks. We've been able to set up our navigation using Strapi. We've created a site elements, what do they call this? A site elements content type, where we've been able to fill out some basic site elements like the site name and the logo and a contact email. We've been able to add a primary navigation links. We had a bit of a look around there with the API and how that works. And yeah, now we're good to kind of keep progressing this site and keep building it out. Thank you for watching. As always, please like, follow, share, subscribe, all of those different things. You can follow me on Twitter at haydos585, HAYDOS 585. And then yeah, YouTube, same name, Codercise. On Twitch at Codercise as well. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Bye.